I have this old Raleigh Tourist, I think it's about 1970, and I'm going to go ahead and overhaul the bottom bracket and walk through all the steps of that. First thing I want to do is go ahead and remove these cranks. Got the little bolt here, so I'm going to go ahead, loosen that. I removed these in another video, so they're not super tight, but they're somewhat tight. I'm going to go have to replace these bolts, or the pins here, the cotter pins. That out. And pull that off. Like that. Move this nut here. Got that off. Now I want to go ahead and remove this lock ring here, and I have a Park Tool HCW5, and so this is regular right hand threaded, so remove that. Now I want to go ahead and remove this adjustable cup, and this seems kind of tight. Normally it should be pretty loose. So I have a tool here. It's a Park Tool HCW11, and it fits right on there. And let's go ahead and see if I can get that loosened. Ah, there we go. Still pretty tight. Oh, yeah, and that bearing in there is just a mess. Looks like it has a plastic cup or plastic cage there, and all the bearings are loose in there. So yeah, definitely need to rebuild this thing. There's some sort of seeds, like looks like some like apple seeds inside there. Huh. Okay, the fixed cup tends to be a lot harder to remove, so I'm going to go ahead, spray this down with some penetrating oil, and just try to get this around in there, in here, sprayed in from the back. And I'm going to go ahead and let that soak for a little while. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and try to take this fixed cup off, and I'm expecting it to be pretty tight. It's probably going to be left hand threaded, so take this off reverse. Let's see how. Tight this is going to be. See if I can get it break loose with the tool here. Okay, not going to come off like that, I don't think, real easy, so let's try another method. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use my little homemade tool here that I used in another video. I'll go ahead and post a link to that. So, this in here. I go ahead and clamp this bolt, tighten this bolt down onto this fixed cup, and so now I'm going to go ahead and just be turning this and hopefully get it to turn out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use a cheater bar on this. Okay, I think I got it to break loose. Yep, definitely. And yeah, so I got it to break loose. Wow. Oh, that was tough. Well, that's what it looks like inside a 45-year-old bottom bracket. Pretty disgusting. There's some more seeds or whatever in there, but I'm going to get this all cleaned out. Okay, got an old rag here. I'm just going to kind of get some of that junk out to begin with. I got some degreaser. I'm going to go ahead and spray this in there. And I got a big brush here. Let's see if I can brush out from inside there. Huh. Already a lot cleaner in there. I got a little bit of a wire brush. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of brush along through these threads. See if I can get them just a little cleaned out. Any junk that's caught in them. Okay, I got all the parts from the bottom bracket. I'm going to go ahead and throw them into this can of paint thinner and get all the old grease and dirt off of there. Yeah, I really don't need to clean these bearings because I'm just going to go ahead and replace them all. Then go ahead and pop the bearings out of this little plastic race here, since I plan on replacing the individual bearings. And then I'll probably just reuse this little plastic cage. Okay, I got brand new ball bearings. I popped the old ones out of these plastic cages, and so I just need to just pop the new ones into place. And now I have two cups. The fixed cup is the one that has a section of here that's not threaded on it. The adjustable cup is threaded all the way. What I want to do is I have some generic grease here. And I'm going to go ahead and put grease in the races of the cups. Like that. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and fit the bearings. And I want to have the balls facing into the cup like this, so that the cage is facing towards the opening. So let's take this, and they just fit together like that. Like that. Because now, like, the axle is going to, the race on the axle here is going to meet the bearings like that. Now I'm going to take the fixed cup and just put a very light coating of grease around the threads. Like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and start it in. And this is going to go in, turn in counterclockwise, and you want to be very careful to get it threaded. It should thread in smoothly. You do not want to cross thread this. When it turns in, it should turn in smoothly. There we go. So go ahead and turn that in. And then I've got the tool here, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten this. There. And then just wipe off any grease on the outside there. Just clean it up a little bit. Okay, now I have the axle, and the axle has a long side and a short side here from the races. The long side is going to go towards the crank with the rings on it, and so that's going to go in here. Just slide it into place. And then I have the adjustable cup here. Again, I'm going to go ahead and just put a thin coating of grease around the threads. Just like that. And then slide this over the axle, and then this is going to turn on clockwise. Again, make sure it should turn in smoothly. You don't want to cross thread this. And turn it in until it hits the bearings. And you don't want to feel play like with the axle like that, so it needs to go in a little farther. So just turn it in. There we go. Okay, I want it to turn smoothly. I don't want a lot of play in there, but I don't want it to bind either. So you want to find that little point right between where it's turned smoothly and it's binding. So that feels pretty good. Now I got the lock ring, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn the lock ring on. Let me see. They've got another tool here, so I'm going to go ahead and just tighten the lock ring. Not crank it down yet. And feel for play. And it turns smoothly. There's just a hair of play in there, so I'm going to go ahead and just tighten it just a little bit more. So like that. And then just turn this, tighten it just a touch. Tighten that. No play, turns smoothly. Tighten that all the way. Turns smoothly. No play. And then go ahead and clean that off. Okay, now I want to go ahead and put the crank on. This is the left side crank. I'm going to find the notch where the pin is going to go, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that so it's facing down. Just makes it a little easier. Slide the crank on so it lines up with that little notch. I have a brand new pin that I filed down to kind of match the old pin, and slide that into place. And take a hammer, I'm going to tap this down and get that in place. Slide the washer on, and it came with a lock nut, so I'm going to go ahead and put the lock nut on and screw that on. And you don't need to crank the nut down. It's not the nut that pulls the pin and locks that into place. It's the tapping down with the hammer to begin with. This just holds it on and keeps it from coming out. Okay, then I got the other side. You see, go ahead and turn the axle. Well, right now it's facing up because the other axle's crank's on there. So I'm going to go ahead and just slide this let me see, get this right in place, get this in here, slide the chain onto the chain ring, slide this onto the axle. I've got my new cotter pin, so slide that into place there. Let me go ahead and tap this down. And then slide the washer on, slide the lock nut on, turn that on, tighten this down, and I'm done. And that's how you do it.